Welcome back, my name is ballerscuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1976, and today we're going to talk more about Dungeons & Dragons. Having helped create the original Dungeons & Dragons, as well as the Blackmore supplement, Dave Arneson officially joined TSR at the beginning of 1976, earning the title of Director of Research. 3 additional supplements for Dungeons & Dragons were published in 1976 as the game continued to take form and expand. The first supplement in 1976 was Eldritch Wizardry. Eldritch Wizardry is a supernatural supplement written by Gary Gygax and Brian Bloom and published by TSR. It was designed to add on to the existing game and is listed as Supplement 3 on the cover. One of the major additions to the game is psionic ability. Psionic ability is something that is exclusive to human characters. It manifests differently for each class, but one interesting note is that in fighting men, the psionic abilities are known as yoga, based on ancient Hindu and Buddhist stories. Eldritch Wizardry also added druids as a playable character. The monster introduced into Dungeons & Dragons in Greyhawk could now be used by players as a subclass of clerics. Eldritch Wizardry also adds an optional battle system addition that determines turn order based on things like dexterity, armor, and the character's readiness. Of course, there was a new set of combat rules for psionic attacks and defenses. The book added new artifacts as well as new charts for determining encounters. Eldritch Wizardry also added some new monsters to Dungeons & Dragons. Those include Cthulhu based on Roman mythology, Kuatls, based on South American mythology, demons in several different types, including succubi and demon princes. The demon princes listed are Orcus, based on Roman mythology, and Demogorgon, based on Greek mythology. Kirin, based on East Asian mythology. Medusae, based on Greek mythology. And Shedu, based on Middle Eastern mythology. Some original psionic monsters include Intellect Devourers, walking balls of black on 4 legs. Mind Flayers, humanoid creatures with octopus heads. Sioux monsters, hound-like creatures with gorilla heads. Brain moles, small rodent-like creatures. Cerebral parasites, invisible creatures that can only be detected psionically. And thought eaters, sickly gray skeletal platypi. The second supplement of 1976 is Gods, Demigods, and Heroes. Written by Robert Kuntz and James Ward, Gods, Demigods, and Heroes sought to codify mythology, making bringing the legends into Dungeons & Dragons straightforward and relatively simple. As the name implies, the game lists out the gods, demigods, and heroes, giving the characters statistics and descriptions. The mythologies included are Egyptian mythology, Indian mythology, Greek mythology, Celtic mythology, Norse mythology, Finnish mythology, Robert E. Howard's Hyboria, the world of Conan the Barbarian, Michael Moorcock's Elric of Melniboné, Mesoamerican mythology, and Far Eastern mythology. In total, over 200 characters are spelled out in Gods, Demigods, and Heroes, allowing referees to create their own mythologies to flesh out their campaigns. Although the supplement stated in the foreword that Gods, Demigods, and Heroes would be the final supplement for Dungeons & Dragons, that did not prove to be entirely correct. Later in the year, TSR released Swords and Spells, an update to the combat rules of Dungeons & Dragons. Written by Gary Gygax, Swords and Spells was not seen as a full supplement, and instead was an update of rules. Swords and Spells sought to create more structured rules, still based on the chainmail rules, for battles between large groups of combatants, including battles between armies. The way this was done was to average the statistics for each monster so that dice would not have to be thrown. Of all the supplements published for the original Dungeons & Dragons, Swords and Spells was the least popular and the least influential. My guess is that people did not like doing that much math. And those are the additional Dungeons & Dragons publications of 1976. Ultimately, the game had some nice small additions, but there was nothing groundbreaking here. The addition of a new class, some new characters, and a relatively obscure form of combat were some nice touches, but the game did not change drastically in 1976. By the end of 1976, Dave Arneson left TSR, hoping to pursue a career as an independent game designer. TSR agreed to pay Arneson royalties for the sales of Dungeons & Dragons without his direct involvement in the company. His official tenure with the company lasted less than a year. TSR also obtained the rights to Gen Con in 1976. After having managed and run the convention in 1975, Gen Con officially became the property of TSR in 1976, earning all the proceeds of the growing event. And that is Dungeons & Dragons 2 years on. There will be more Dungeons & Dragons for us to talk about in the future, though. My name is ballerscuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next video, where we will be talking about some other games of 1976.